I hate to say this because I'm a huge fan of the original, but Gladiator 2 wasn't very good. It was okay. But for what it was trying to be, I would say it came in below the standard. Both the standard of being a sequel to the first one, and the standard of being just a historical epic, and the standard of being an interesting revenge story.
Empires fall, so do emperors.
This is war! Real war!
The odds are against you.
The odds are always against me.
Ready to round!
It's weird that they were making a sequel in the first place. The original Gladiator was kind of a standalone historical epic, and it was great for a million reasons, but it was great in part because it was just high concept. It was cool, incredibly badass Roman general gets his family killed by someone trying to take power in an unlawful, evil way, and then he becomes a gladiator, and he ends up using that as a means to take revenge and restore the stability of his land, of Rome. And this film kind of just feels like that, but they just kind of repeated the same ideas, but split them up amongst more people and tried to make them interesting in a new way, but didn't really succeed. And that's a shame, because I've read and watched a ton of, ancient historical epics and Roman historical epics, and there's a lot of material and a lot of ways it can be very cool to watch. And this film by itself, it looked amazing all the way through. Looked amazing. The sets were cool, the costumes were cool, the fighting was good, also very good. I'd say better than the original even. There's a lot of clearly hard work that went into it, and if you're going just for the fight scenes, you're going to be satisfied. But the fight scenes only make up about 20 minutes of a 2.5 hour long film, so you've got to ask yourself if it's worth going for that amount of genuine entertainment. I would give this maybe a 3 out of 5, because it does look good, and it has a lot of stuff that I think you wouldn't see anywhere else, and it has a lot of things that it's genuinely competent at, but as a movie and as a story, it is definitely not 5 stars, and I think it would be too much to give it even 4 stars. It's a shame because there is a lot of great material, and there even is a lot of great potential in the ideas they used. But overall, as a product, this kind of feels like, the crappier ripoff of the original that doesn't succeed at doing a lot of what made the original great. But oh well.
The gods of spoken!
Ridley Scott, the director, I think, is at the point where he's just trying to make as many movies as he can before he dies. He's putting them out like every 2 years, and they're always expensive, and they always have a lot of interesting stuff in them, but they aren't always necessarily tightly honed and excellently created to be something that's amazingly good. And to be fair, I think sometimes it works really, really well. I think The Last Duel was one of the best written and best just overall pieces of film I've seen in the last 5-10 years. But I think with all the hits at the bag Ridley Scott is taking, eventually some of them don't connect well. If you're a fan of the first one who just wants to see what the second one is like, or if you're just a guy looking for kind of a guys' night movie to go out and see, I would say this is okay. This is an okay pick. But if you're just a casual moviegoer looking to see something, I'd recommend something else. And if you're a hardcore fan of the original, or someone who really wants to have a good guys' movie night, I would recommend looking for something else entirely, because this frankly isn't a super great film. I'll talk more about that later, but that is the long and short of it.